On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we're breaking down the first day of training camp, and we talked to Pat Surtain, Mike McGlinchey, and we've got insight on Nik Bonitto and injuries, and it all starts now. The Broncos are back. They are back, baby. Let's go. That means the DNVR Broncos podcast is back. That means I'm back. That means Ryan is back, and we are ready to rock and roll. 2025 training camp. Here we go.
Let's go, baby. I love it. Woke up today, and it just felt like football season.
Yep.
Not going to lie.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to get yourself in the swing of things, and I think that's because the Broncos used to suck.
Right.
And you kind of got to be like, all right, here we go, football season. Like, let's get excited. Let's have some fun. No need to push it today. The excitement was there, as you just heard in Zach's voice. It's time.
Yep.
It's time to start to learn what this team is really made of. And I think we got a taste of it last year. We know the leadership is there. We know the quarterback is on the right track. We know the defense is built for it. Like, all they need is that extra little sprinkle. That just makes a team from good to special. And right now, from now until really the start of the season, I think is when you find that extra ingredient.
You're 100% right. In fact, Mike McGlinchey, who we're going to hear from on this show, was asked that exact question. Is this a Super Bowl caliber team? And he said, look, it's July 22nd right now. I can't say that right now, but I think this is, and we will learn that over these next few weeks, just exactly what you pointed to, Ryan. And when you were talking about how you woke up feeling like it was football right now, something popped into my head. I have noticed tens of players, Broncos players, posting on Instagram either last night or this morning about being pumped for training camp. And I've been on Instagram for years, and I don't remember guys doing that in the past. Maybe it didn't pop up. Maybe this is the year they all started doing it, but it makes me think maybe they're just a little bit more excited for this year's camp because it is a grueling camp with Sean Payton as your head coach, but they're excited for it because they know that this team finally has it. And look, last year we were optimistic, but last year at this time, Ryan, we were going into a quarterback competition. Bo Nix was getting a third of the reps right now. So the difference between last year and this year is monumental, and we're here, baby.
We're here, and you nailed it perfectly. Like, quarterback competitions like the one that the Broncos had last year bring more anxiety than anything else, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's going to happen here? And I think a lot of us are sitting here like being like, it's got to be Bo. And I remember there were some people in the media being like, you got to go 4 games of Stidham at least.
Yeah.
Like, and even just saying that out loud means like, okay, then we're not doing anything this season. Like, just punt on the season. It's just like, let's ease Bo in as much as we can. Credit Sean Payton for being like, we're throwing him in. By the way, those first 4 games were really bad.
Yes, they were.
But guess what? That would have been games 4 through 8.
Right.
Instead of games 1 through 4 if you did it the other way.
And then there would be no Buffalo playoff game this past year.
No, there would probably be a much better first round pick.
That's very true. Or maybe it's still Jahdae Barron in number 10.
Potentially. But it's so refreshing and so exciting to go into a season without a lot of question marks. I mean, we did the camp battles the other day with Benny, and it's like we're talking about wide receiver 3 and running back 2 and, cornerback 3.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about as a battle on this team, not quarterback 1, the most important position on the team. So it's this is exciting. I'm super just fired up, not only for it to be training camp, but to get out there and lay eyes on this team during training camp and just So like I said, see if they can find the special ingredient that takes a team from good to special.
And speaking of having eyes on training camp, of course, we're going to be out there every single day of training camp. And so we're going to adjust our schedule a little bit for the show. We're going to be going live as soon as we possibly can, right after camp, right about 2:05 every single day. We're going to rush from Broncos training camp to the Toyota Lounge inside the DNVR Bar to give you the up-to-date information. And Ryan, if the Broncos are practicing on Saturday, we're doing a show on Saturday. So this week, that's why our schedule is Tuesday through Saturdays, because the Broncos were back today. First practice is tomorrow, and it's 2 acclimation practices, which means it's shorter practices, but they're still out on the field, but not open to fans. Then Friday, fans are there, but we're still there tomorrow and Thursday. So we're going to be breaking down the first practice tomorrow, and then we're here Tuesday through Saturday this week. Next week, it's a gruel for these players. Monday through Saturday. So we're going to be on air all 6 of those days. Again, whenever the Broncos are doing something, we are doing something on this show. And so what was today? If the Broncos report today, but there's no practice today, well, Ryan, today has changed a lot in the past couple of years. When you were full-time covering the Broncos beat, what was reporting day for the players like, for the media and for the players?
Yeah, I mean, it was an event.
Yep.
I would call it. It was known as the media barbecue, but it was a lot more than that. They would have great barbecue food for us.
Yep.
But it was, you're getting the owner, the GM, definitely the quarterback, unless there's a quarterback competition.
Yeah.
You might get all the quarterbacks in that case. You're getting the face of the franchise and probably one other player in addition.
Yep. So the names that popped to my mind, Von Miller was a staple.
Yep.
He was there every single year. DT, absolutely, man. When it was Von and DT, it was like after Peyton retired, it was like, man, the Broncos, you got to face the franchise on defense. You got to face the franchise on offense. For a couple of years, it was kind of sparse. It's like, oh, this guy's the guy that's showing up for the team. And that kind of spoke to where the team was. And you're absolutely right. It was an event in every single way. It was an event that you could not miss. Ryan, today it's a lot different. When Sean Payton took over, he cut George Payton out of the media barbecue. So it was him, it was Greg Penner, and then a couple of players his first year when he was here. Last year, he said, I don't know if he said this, but he said Greg's going to talk later, maybe in the training camp. Oh, because they were going to have the groundbreaking ceremony, so Greg Penner was going to talk later. So
wasn't Greg Penner at a golf tournament?
Probably also that too, yeah. And I think some people freaked out about that, which is just absurd.
Yep.
So it was just Sean Payton, and I believe it was
Couldn't have been a quarterback.
no, it was Quinn.
PS2?
It was Quinn, and I think it was Brandon Jones because he had signed with the Broncos in the offseason. We hadn't talked to him since. So things had changed a little bit, but it's like, okay, still talking to the head coach. Today, Sean said, I'm taking myself out of this equation. I'm not going to talk to you guys until practice tomorrow. So they rolled out some star players still, but there was no barbecue. Shout out to the Broncos. They did give us Chick-fil-A. No free sponsors or ads. But very different than like a buffet premium style barbecue.
And by the way, well, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
And it wasn't in a ballroom like they've done, or sometimes they set up like a huge backdrop and nice chairs inside the Pat Bowlen Fieldhouse.
Or outside. We've had it like outside up on top of the hill.
Right, exactly. We were outside. It was just the normal podium. And there's no complaining about this. It's just to show you how much is changing. And I think, one, construction did play a role in this. The Broncos have a ton of construction going on. So like the atrium where they've done press conferences in the offseason wasn't available because they have that set up for players. But two, the Sean Payton effect just continues to hit this building. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just a lot of different things.
It's funny to me because the Penners, I think if they were in charge of this, they would probably like roll out the red carpet for the media.
100%.
They would, cater Del Frisco's and, just that's the vibe I get from them.
Me
it's
too.
Like they want everyone to think of the Broncos organization as this top, everything is run at the top level.
Yep.
And I think they still do plenty of stuff to prove that they want to do that.
Yep.
I just think that Sean comes in, he's like, no, we're not like making the media more comfortable around here. I want them to feel, a certain way when they come here. And
Yeah.
it's not that they're coming to a 5-star resort for a steak dinner.
Yep, it's exactly right. We didn't talk about this before the show, but it's exactly right because I feel the same way about the Penners. They do everything first class. And I'm sure that if, let's say, Nathaniel Hackett had worked out and he would have stayed the head coach, oh my gosh, this would have been the grandest day because I think that's how the Penners would do it. But I love
They have like a media combine.
right? Yeah, it's all fun. Hackett's out there running it, actually. They bring some players out there. But I love that they said, you know what? We hired Sean to completely change this franchise. So while we might treat the media a little different, we're going to, everything that Sean doesn't have control of, aka spending $175 million in cash on a brand new facility, because Sean doesn't control that. We're going to do that. We're going to make the fan experience as good as it can be. But everything that Sean can really have his hands on that he thinks matters, which does include the media, we're going to let him have full control on. And so while would I have loved a grand buffet today, and would I have loved to talk to Sean and Greg and George and Bo? We did get to talk to Pat, so that was nice. But that would have all been great. I love that the Penners have said, yeah, Sean, we'll do it your way, even though it's going to look a lot different than our way.
100%. And that's, you get all of Sean Payton.
Yes,
you don't
yes,
just
yes.
get some of Sean Payton.
Yes.
And as you can tell, neither of us are complaining about this. I wasn't even there, so I'm certainly not complaining about it. But it is interesting to look at the contrast, and I think that Sean Payton, it just shows that Sean Payton thinks about everything.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
You know, some coaches would be like, yeah, I don't care, do whatever. Like,
Yep.
Oh, it's a first day, you want me out there? Sure, I'll go.
Yep.
No, he's the one making the call on who's going out there. He's the one making the call on how cushy it's going to be. And that's the type of person I want running my football team.
Yep.
Sometimes it can make them seem like a psycho, and sometimes psychos are what you need in football.
Yep, exactly. And then you see how the players react. I told you tens of Broncos players on social media are posting about how they're pumped to start practice because Sean makes it, if you buy into what Sean Payton's vision is, it's a great place for you. It's a great place for him. We saw that first year, specifically with Russ, and there were some other players in the background that didn't get as much attention where it wasn't as cushy. It wasn't a fun environment for those players to be. Now I think Sean Payton, maybe 99% has the team that he wants, where year one, it was less than 50%, in my opinion, that he had the guys that fit not only the quality of players, but just the type of players that he needed. And there were some good players that Sean Payton didn't want because it didn't fit the culture. And those guys are no longer here. Now, those guys are here. He's run all of those ones out of town. He's brought the Malcolm Roaches, like the Brandon Jones, the guys that weren't viewed by their teams as guys. He's brought them over, and now they are Sean Payton's Broncos. So we are hitting the ground, rocking and rolling today. And like I said, we did talk to two superstars today. We talked to Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year. He kicked things off, coming off a Defensive Player of the Year. That is very deserving. And they didn't let us talk to Bo today. They're going to save Bo for a couple of days in.
A couple of days in?
I think so. I think they might say. I think we talked to Russ on day one. I'm sure we did. He wouldn't stand for it if not.
Yeah.
And maybe Case Keesum. We talked to day one because
We definitely talked to him day one.
He was their pride.
Flacco, we talked to day one.
Flacco, we would have talked to day one. But like that's it. So they're saving Bo for later in the week. So we also got to talk to Mike McGlinchey, and as Vincey in the chat says, high character guys. That's who we talked to today. Very high character guys. And we're gonna hear from them actually and react to what they had to say. But before we do that, I gotta tell you about a friend and a partner and a tool that I'm so happy that I have for training camp, because that's our friends over at Mando. If you don't have Mando and you're going out to a Broncos training camp, you need to go and order yourself some Mando right away over at shopmando.com and use the code DNVR for site-wide shipping, free shipping, and 20% off site-wide, because training camp, they've got fans set up in bleachers, which is awesome that they were able to figure a way out to do it. Zero shade protection from what I saw today. You are going to be sweating your balls off, literally, and your armpits off. And anywhere that sweats Mando is there for you. They can go everywhere. Armpits, arms, legs, balls, butt cracks, grundles, everywhere. Mando is there for you. And again, Mando has got that code DNVR for 20% off exclusively for our listeners and free shipping. So go to shopmando.com, shopmando.com, and use that code DNVR. Stay fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. Zach, since you left, I've moved into a new place.
Oh, yes, you have.
Yeah.
Yes, literally.
And
you're taking glasses off? I thought you were going to tell me something deep, but yes.
No,
you're right.
no, I have moved into a new
Sounds like
townhome.
A sweet place.
It is very sweet. But you think that like moving is at the cost of the movers, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the cost of the new coffee table, and we got to get new outdoor furniture, and these cups are ugly. We should just get new ones and throw these away. You know whose voice I'm imitating there. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I need Monarch Money now. I was about to say I need Mando, which I have. I've been sweating.
Yes.
I need Monarch Money to help me kind of get back on track and offset some of these costs and realize maybe where I can cut in the rest of my life to make up for the new coffee table and the furniture and the umbrella and whatever. And that's what they do. They help you understand where you're spending, what you're spending on, what maybe you're spending a little too much on, so that you can manage your finances. They're the best in the business. So use the code DNVR over at Monarch Money to get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
Man, Ryan, you said best in the business. And that's Pat Surtain and Monarch Money. But we talked to Pat Surtain today. He kicked things off. And, man, if you're not going to put Bo up there as a quarterback.
Which I take issue with.
I agree with you. Last year, I totally understand not putting Bo on the podium because he's in a three-way comp. You can't do that. I totally agree. But this year, what are we doing? He's the face of your franchise right now. He's QB1. He's the guy that we'll hear Pat Surtain and Mike McGlinchey hype up right now. So if you're going to decide that we're not putting Bo up there, and I agree with you that I disagree with that decision, then you put Pat up, right? Easy decision. He's your number one after Bo.
Yes, 100%.
So that's what they did. And should we actually just hear from Bo right now?
Yes.
I think the people want to hear from him.
From Pat.
Thank you. Yes.
We'd love to hear from Bo.
We would love to hear from Bo. So would the people. That'll be later in the week. But let's hear from Pat Surtain on his offseason and what he's expecting going into year 2, being the reigning Defensive Player of the Year.
How was the offseason? And was it long enough?
Offseason was pretty good. He treated me well, you know. I enjoyed it while I can. It flew by to say the least, but, you know, now we're here.
How high are expectations, you think, going into this training camp? I mean, coming off, making the playoffs, adding some key guys, how high are expectations?
I mean, you know, you want to set expectations pretty high, but, you know, I mean, you can't let that, you know, allow yourself to unwaver from the fact that, you know, we still got a lot of goals to accomplish as a team. You know, we're just going to take it day by day in training camp and just keep on sharpening iron, sharpening our toolbox, and just keep on getting better out here on the gridiron. So.
Hey, Pat, there was a time where your dad seemed more frustrated when you started here. The team wasn't performing. Now that you are where you are with this particular team, how is he feeling about you and this team this year?
I think he's feeling pretty confident. I mean, obviously he got some things he need to handle over there where he at. So, but I think we got such a great team going in towards this year. I'm looking forward to getting out there with the guys. So a lot of new additions, a lot of new pieces that fit our system. So it should be great.
But you have as much continuity as you have defensively. Where do you try to start in training camp? Is it just about working new guys in, or like how do you sort of try to, you know, jump off given the number of guys you have back on this defense?
You know, just constant communication out there. I think football is, you know, all of it plays out the communication. You know, being hyperactive out there. You know what I mean? Just going out there, communicating the call in the meetings, in the film room, you know, and just building that confidence and that chemistry early on. So, I mean, a lot of guys that we got, you know, they've played a lot of football, a lot of experienced football, winning football. So, I mean, it's nothing new to them. But obviously it's a new situation. So, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, getting together with the guys and, you know, picking their brains. So.
You were vocal last year about how impressed you were by Bo as he goes into his second year. How eager are you to see what he can do, and I guess how much confidence the team's confidence comes from having him in place at quarterback?
Yeah, you know, Bo, he's even more confident going into this year. Obviously, with year one under his belt, a lot more confidence rises upon that. So, you know, the team, you know, we have Bo back through the whole way through. You know, I mean, he's a tremendous leader out there, obviously a tremendous player. So, you know, I mean, this year he's going to make a lot of noise. And, you know, we're looking forward to see what he does and his success moving forward. So.
This whole offseason, it hasn't been Pat Surtain. It's been NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been, you know, tough to keep the grounded and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, you know, it's adding that hardware, you know, to my resume. I mean, it's pretty cool. But honest with me, I just stay grounded, stay humbled, stay in the thick of things. You know, you could be at the top like that and it could fall that quickly. So, you know, I just go back, you know, to my work and the work that I put in each and every year. So, I mean, obviously it was a busier off season than usual, but you know, I mean, I also enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I know there's still more work ahead for me to do. So.
That being Defensive Player of the Year going into the season, do you think teams will target you less differently than they have in the past now, especially that you've proven that you're the best defensive player?
We'll see. I mean, you know, I feel like every week faces its new challenges. You know, offensive scheme, you know, different personnel, different plays up. So, you know, we'll see how I go this year. But, you know, I mean, that doesn't make me feel comfortable or like make things seem like everything's just gonna come easy. I mean, I know I still gotta put the work in. I know I still gotta put my best foot forward out there each and every week. So.
We talked to players this time of year. They all said we want to win a Super Bowl, we want to win a title. But what about the commitment of this group makes you think this group can do special things? Like, what do you see from this group, whether it's the buy-in or culture, that makes you think you guys can take a step forward?
I mean, we're determined. You know, we got a lot of selfless leaders out here, and you know, that just goes a long way. You know, there's guys that put the team first before themselves, and you know that goes through everybody on the team. So, I think it resonates pretty well. What our common goal is. We know in the playoffs last year we didn't get the result that we wanted, and you know that just adds another chip on our shoulder going in towards this year. And you know we got the right team to do so. So.
Pat, there was a video at Chad Johnson's camp of Court and Jamar Chase talking about specifically like trying how to beat you. You know, and all that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
What does it mean to know, kind of like, you know, we've asked you just that guys are thinking about you in this way, and you have that respect of receivers in this league? What was kind of the reaction to that?
I think it's a lot of respect that goes into it. You know, I think the highest honor, the highest respect you could get is from your peers. So hearing that is pretty cool to see. You know, telling Ocho it's not that easy, but you know, they know what's best. But it's major respect, so respect to them guys as well. You know, so I mean, you know, football, you know, you go up against the best of the best each and every week, and you know, just to get that respect from your peers like that, it means a lot.
In what areas have you seen Janae Barron grow the most already on the field so far?
I just think he's very smart. He's savvy. I mean, he understands the game pretty well. You know, coaches put him in around different positions. You know what I mean? I think that's harder to learn coming in as a rookie, especially with, you know, VJ's playbook. But it feels like he's handling it pretty well. And it seems like he's up the schedule on things. So I'm excited to see, you know, what he brings to the table this year.
Pat, another August for you, going to be facing Cortland, you know, day to day. What have you just come to respect most or appreciate most about your relationship with him and the battles that you guys have out here?
Yeah, I mean, Court, my dog, he's my brother. So, you know, every time we come out here, we're looking to compete and get better. And you can just tell each and every year, you know, he's looking to get better himself, you know. So I feel like we haven't even seen the best of him yet, you know what I mean, even though he's been so great. So I think, you know, sharpening each other's craft is going to make each other better each and every day. So looking forward to those battles.
Pat, have you kept tabs with the leadership changes that were made recently at the NFLPA, and what sort of confidence do you have in the players union in just representing issues that are important to players?
Say it again?
Have you kept tabs on the leadership changes at the NFLPA, and just are you confident in their just ability to represent the players and what's important to you?
Yeah, I think it's very important to, you know, represent the players. in this role. I feel like the players' voices are very crucial from that standpoint. And, us as players, we know how we feel on a day-to-day basis, and we know that what needs to be changed. So I think it's pretty evident that, the players, allowing their voices to be heard, is very important. So.
Okay. Pat saw that you were in Greece hanging out with Michael Jordan, the other Jordan brand athletes. How excited are you to be one of the signature Jordan brand football athletes, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. It was a cool experience meeting, MJ himself. I mean, it was pretty dope, man. I feel like that whole brand, what they have in order, is a very close group. The brand is like, a family first aspect. So, I'm glad to be a part of the Jordan brand. Looking forward to it.
Are you looking forward to having as cool a shoes or cooler shoes as your coach, so that you can have the all-exclusive?
We're gonna be competing out there on the field, even though I know he got the exclusive Jones already. So I still got some catching up to do. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from the newest member of the Jordan brand family.
Yes.
Pat Surtain getting that deal.
Best on-field aesthetic in the NFL, in my opinion.
Oh, it's only going to get better?
It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Yep.
This offseason, he was wearing blue and orange Nikes. The only way to make it better, throw that Jordan tag on it.
Facts. So you got Sean and PS2.
You have the only coach in the NFL with an exclusive deal with Jordan. You got Pat now, and it's a pretty exclusive club around the league. You have Dak Prescott is one. Stephon Diggs is with Jordan, and the guy that really jumps out to me is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He's a Jordan guy too.
Saw him pull up to camp today in the full Jordan get-up.
Yep.
Bo next.
Oh, it should be. Oh, Bo next. That's a good one.
Really quick, I just want to say this on Bo not speaking. I disagree with it. To me, he's the face of your franchise now. We had a whole conversation somewhere recently, I don't even remember where it was, about what Bo would have to do to surpass Nikola Jokic as the face of Denver sports, and we were basically just like, it was on this show. It was me and Henry, and we were basically just like, yeah, he just has to like be really good. You're the quarterback of the Broncos.
Yeah,
you're really close. Like as much as Jokic's accomplishments will be very hard to ever eclipse.
Yeah,
that's not what this is about. It's about being the face of Denver sports, which is just handed to you if you're the quarterback of the Broncos and you're really good.
Yep, you don't need to be better than Jokic.
No.
You just got to be the franchise QB.
Yes, exactly.
I agree.
And so not putting him up there to me is interesting. It's clearly intentional.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm just thinking that maybe Sean doesn't want to like throw all that on Bo right away and just say like, all right, here you go. You're the face of the franchise. Like, take us to the promised land. It's more like, hey, like, you take your time, you settle in, come in. You don't have to go deal with the media right away. We're going to just, ease you in, and we'll let Pat be the face of the franchise still.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it's about, Ryan. And then tomorrow, Sean's going to talk, and Sean's going to say, yeah, Bo's doing everything right, and he's going to take us to the promised land. And then he's going to put the expectations on him publicly. But you know what? Bo is a guy that can handle this. So it's not that the Broncos are afraid that Bo can't handle it. It's just, what's one thing that we can do to help him? And this is very intentional. Ryan, even before Sean Payton got here, you and I would always say to each other when there was just something different or something weird or something was up, whether it was like on field or off the field, we'd say, man, the Broncos always do something with intention. They're always doing it. Yeah, there's no accidents, and that's exactly what happened here. And then, so you don't let Bo speak, maybe to just take something off his shoulders, maybe to just not put too much pressure on him. And then Pat Surtain goes out there and says he's going to make a lot of noise this year. We'll hear from Mike McGlinchey as well, because he goes on that hype train as well with Bo. What is making a lot of noise this year? What is at the end of this season, Pat says, yep, Bo made a lot of noise. I called it.
I would say making a lot of noise is being included in MVP conversations.
100%.
Because I don't know what else you can do that's loud that doesn't involve that. Like, obviously winning a bunch of games, but I think if they win a bunch of games, he will be. You could say, throwing 35 touchdowns. Sure. But that's not like making noise. I think making noise is everyone's talking about you. amongst the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep, I completely agree with that. And then one step further, potentially, that pops into my head is pushing Patrick Mahomes. Not as the best quarterback in the NFL this year necessarily, but it's doing what he did last year, going into Arrowhead, should have beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, and just kind of doing that on a consistent week in and week out basis. Broncos play the Eagles on the road, pushing Jalen Hurts in that game. Broncos obviously play Justin Herbert, pushing him in Los Angeles, playing Patrick Mahomes, pushing him in Kansas City on the primetime games. That's it right there. You're shaking your head.
Terrell Barnes in the comments said, we all remember PFM was here and Vaughn was still the face.
Yeah,
no, he was not.
No.
We don't remember. I don't remember that. No. Peyton Manning touched down on the plane at Centennial Airport and was the face of Denver sports.
In fact, it was the perfect handoff, though, from PFM to Vaughn, because Peyton's last game is when Vaughn becomes the Super Bowl 50 MVP, and it was the perfect handoff, but that was Peyton's very last game when it happened.
Totally, yeah. No, Peyton Manning was, I mean, he's still like a face of Denver sports.
It's actually
probably
crazy.
In the top 5.
We need Bo to kind of, in a weird way, take that from Peyton.
Yes.
And say, Peyton, go retire. Still stay in Denver just like you are. We know he's not leaving. He's embraced Denver. He's definitely a Colorado guy and a Bronco forever and ever. But let's stop having to rely on a guy that retired 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, I mean, the face of Denver sports thing is kind of like just a fun off-season topic, and we're not technically in the offseason anymore.
No, we aren't.
We can move along.
I guess one more day until they're actually practicing. The next thing that I took away from that was him talking about Jahdae Barron. And one of the things that I started to see from fans, specifically in the Toyota chat, that are really dialed into the Broncos, is they were saying at the end of OTAs and mandatory minicamp, man, we really haven't heard about Jahdae. Like, we've heard a lot about the other rookies. RJ Harvey's popping off. Pat Bryant's really surprising people in the offseason and how much we're talking about those guys. Heck, even a 7th round tight end that played 4 snaps or caught 4 passes in college, he's getting talked about during OTAs. But Jahdae, their first round pick, hasn't been talked about. And the reason for that, Ryan, is he's a cornerback. We didn't talk about Pat Surtain either, outside of him missing the first one. We didn't talk about him in mandatory minicamp or in OTAs. It's because those guys don't really get talked about. So, and I was at all of those, and there was nothing to praise. There was also nothing to put him down for. He wasn't getting beat consistently. In fact, he wasn't getting beat that I can remember at all. But so to hear behind the scenes from Pat that, yes, he is being put in all these different situations. He's being put in an outside. He's being put in inside. A lot's been put on his plate by the coaches, and he is handling it well. That's truly the best thing that I could have heard or seen about him these past couple months.
I love it. And the big thing for me is just, is he bought in on learning from Pat? And
yeah.
If I hear that, I just know he's good. And it sounds like one thing, but it checks like a million boxes for me. It's like, okay, he wants to be great. Okay, he doesn't have too big of an ego. Okay, he's not caught up in the first round thing. Doesn't think anything's to be handed to him. Like, just, it checks off so many boxes. If I just find out like he's following around Pat like a puppy.
Yep.
You know, that's all I want to hear. And I feel like that's what the vibes are. And I think that one of the reasons the Broncos selected Jahdae Barron is because he's that type of person.
Man, it reminds me of what Aqib Talib told Benny Fowler on this show, is that he has the cheat code. Jahdae has a cheat code. With Pat Surtain there, he said exactly that. Follow him around, bro. You got the cheat code, bro. Just do what Pat does. Live in his shadows. And it does seem like he's doing that so far, which is a really, really good sign.
You ever seen the movie Yumi and Dupree?
Absolutely not. No. Is it featuring Bud Dupree, the pass rusher?
No.
Oh.
It's an Owen Wilson flick.
I do like Owen Wilson.
It should be Yumi and Jahdae.
Yep.
This is Pat's girlfriend, wife.
Yep. Girlfriend.
Girlfriend should be saying like, when is he gonna leave?
Yep. Yeah. It's so true.
He just lives here now?
Yep. Can he get a girlfriend so he moves in with someone else now?
Exactly.
That's exactly right. And then final big takeaway from this is, did you see that video from Ocho Cinco? I believe it was him, who I believe is now Chad Johnson again. It was him, Jerry Jeudy, and Jamar Chase talking about is there any way to beat Pat Surtain? And essentially they came up with like, no, he's the only guy that you can't beat in the NFL when it comes to a wide receiver facing a corner.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, it just puts an end to all debates.
Yep.
About, who's the best corner, Sauce, Pat, like throw in anyone you want. No, you just heard from the best receivers and absolute route technicians.
Yep.
That he's unbeatable.
I mean, if Ocho Cinco and Jamar Chase, the unquestioned, I guess some people, this past year, he was the unquestioned best wide receiver in the NFL.
Right there with Justin Jefferson on any given Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. And last year was a Triple Crown winner, meaning he beat Justin Jefferson in touchdowns, yards, and catches. If those two guys, and then also you throw in Jerry Jeudy in terms of his talent and route running ability, those guys are talking about how he's unbeatable. You can't get past him. Okay, then tip of the cap. He's won it right there. And it was cool to hear Pat respond to that. And Pat responds in the way that he always does, extremely humble. He takes the high road and essentially just says, man, hearing it from those greats means a lot.
Pat is the least cornerback attitude cornerback I've ever seen that's that dominant.
It's so true. Man, if Aqib Talib was Pat Surtain, like Pat Surtain had Aqib Talib's personality, and we got that for 15 years with Pat being this great, oh man, that would be something.
I guess the only other one I can remember who's like that is Champ Bailey.
Right. Yep.
So it fits perfectly.
And this offseason, really quick, Champ Bailey said that Pat, in the past couple years, Champ has said that Pat has what it takes to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Champ upped it this offseason and said Pat has what it takes to be the best ever at the cornerback position.
Whew. Crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is I think quarterbacks are too smart now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you just had all these gunslinging quarterbacks who were just out there and just like, I don't care about prime. Like, I'm throwing that way. And, he's going back the other way for 6.
Yeah.
I feel like Pat gets like 6 opportunities a year to intercept a pass.
Yep, exactly. And last year, he was still able to win Defensive Player of the Year, which is just incredible.
And how many picks did he have?
4. It tied a career high. He had 4 his rookie season, but of course the pick 6 that he had this year as well was huge. All right, let's hear from Mike McGlinchey. And before we do that, I've got to tell you about an awesome event that we've got going on. We've partnered up with True Fan Travel. The Broncos are going to London. So that means we're going to London, and we want you to come with us overseas to London, where we're going to be spending a week out there. We're going to have 5 nights in a star hotel out there, plus flights, plus events every single day, plus the best tailgate that's ever going to be thrown in London, plus tickets to the game. True Fan Travel has put together a package that combines all of that. So all you have to do is buy that package, and you're going to be taken care of from the time you leave the United States to the time you return to the United States. It's going to be an awesome time. You're going to be hanging out with us. You're going to be seeing the sights of London, and you're going to be watching the Broncos dominate the Jets in London. So how you get tickets, go to truefantravel.com. They've got a couple of options, one that includes flights, one that doesn't include flights if you're already going to be over there. So make sure to check it out and come with us to London. Ryan, the Broncos could be 6-0 leaving that game, and you could be there to watch it.
Love it. And Bad Moon says, do we get RK stories? You should see me after like 3 drinks.
Yep.
All the stories coming up.
And you've got some.
Yes, exactly. And I might even spill a drink on the floor if you give me enough. And hopefully they have an Empire floor. Because if you do, it'll be able to handle it. Just like this floor that we're sitting on right now has handled, people dragging chairs across it, spilling drinks on it, leaving crumbs on it. Anything you can imagine, the floor underneath us has dealt with it. And it still looks like it does the day that they came in and installed it. And I still remember the day that they came and installed it because they came before the window. They said we'll be there from 7 to 10 or something like that. They came 30 minutes earlier than that. Wow. Never seen that from any company. That's just the type of service that Empire provides on top of having the best floors in the game. So if you want to get an Empire floor in your home or business, hit up Empire. Go to empiretoday.com/DNVR, and you can also get $350 off with a free estimate. $350 off, a free estimate when you go to empiretoday.com/DNVR.
Speaking of free, It's free to hit us with a thumbs up. And if you're tuning in, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. Shows that you like that we're going a little later so we can give you what happened at practice. And we really appreciate it as well. So hit us with a thumbs up. Subscribe. So if there's any breaking news and we're going live, you have those alerts turned on to get notified of that. We really appreciate everyone. Lot of people in here with us. We got some OGs and regulars like Jose, Cody, Behad, Moon joining us. So thank you to everyone who's rocking and rolling with us today.
I had the same thought that Jose had, by the way. You said you're going to a star hotel, as in 1 star?
No. I should have said I meant to say like a top hotel, but stars is how hotels are named.
Yes.
So a mini star,
Several star hotel.
yes, but that kind of diminishes it. At least a 4-star hotel.
Okay, all
How
right.
about that?
Love that.
I know it's at least
4-star plus.
that. Yes, 4-star plus. So yes, Jose, I'm sorry to be confusing. No, it's not a singular star hotel. It's a great hotel. Actually, it overlooks the Tower of London.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
Sweet.
prime location. All right, let's hear from another great. What's the word when you embody an organization well?
A great representative.
Yes, let's hear from another great representative, and probably a guy coming off the best season of his NFL career. Former first-round pick Mike McGlinchey. He is, if he played quarterback, boy, would a PR staff love him to be the face of the franchise, because he carries himself exactly how you want a guy to carry yourself. And he's talking about the Broncos offensive line. Just had a phenomenal season last year. How is he feeling going into this second year with this group?
Mike, you've been on a lot of great teams, championship teams. You know what a championship team feels like. Does this feel like a championship level team now?
Well, I mean, we haven't even practiced yet. Yeah, but certainly we feel like we could be. But we got to put in the work day in and day out. And, you know, we're obviously very, very excited about what we have here. Everybody feels a little bit more comfortable with the experience we gained last year and the year that we had, and knowing that that's still not good enough. And so we're really excited for the opportunity to come into work and earn a chance to be at the top of the NFL, and that's what we're going to try to do.
As a guy who's been to a Super Bowl, though, what can you kind of tell guys, you know, about the journey and what it takes?
Well, it's long. It's about 2 months longer of a year than if you don't make the playoffs. You got to have a little bit of luck. You got to be able to stay healthy. You got to be able to, you know, be your best when your best is needed. And I think we have the guys that are made up of the right stuff in this locker room, and certainly the right coaching staff to get us in place to have those opportunities to win those kinds of games. But like I said, it's July 22nd, and we got a long way to go.
Mike, you're getting ready to go into your 8th camp. What would you tell 24-year-old you getting ready to go into his first camp?
Just kind of, I think, stay the course. I think I made the mistake early on in my career of, you know, expecting a lot out of myself or weighing the opinions of others on top of my identity as, you know, a human being and as a football player. And so you got to stick to what you know. You got to be confident in who you are, and understand that the only opinions that matter are the ones of your coaches and the ones of, you know, yourself. And if you let other people's opinions start shaping your own about yourself, then that's when you get pretty screwed up. And it's good to be on the other side of it 8 years later. But it's all it is about staying the course and trying to get better every day.
Like the Broncos had a couple of your former teammates in San Francisco with Hufanga and Greenlaw. What do those guys bring to the team that we might not even know that you've been former teammates?
Well, I mean, obviously their play speaks for themselves. I think Huff and Dre are two of the best at their positions across the league, and they are monstrous additions for us defensively. But the two of them bring such an energy, especially, you know, defensive side of the football is a very emotional, energetic kind of style of play, and you can feel Dre Greenlaw when he steps onto the field. You can feel Huff when he makes plays in the box or takes a chance on a great interception, and those two are going to help us tremendously this year, and happy to be back on the same side as them.
Mike, earlier when you said you listen to other people, how did that manifest itself? Are you less confident?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, when you're young and you grow up and you want all the, you know, you play for the wrong things. You play for, you know, people to like you, people to give you accolades, titles, things like that. And you realize that all you want to do is just live out your dream and be the best, right? So it's been a long journey to get there, and excited to keep trying to get and find that way to keep going. And you know, feel like I had a great year last year and an opportunity to continue to build on it, and that's the exciting part.
Mike, how much you pay attention to the way your O-line was ranked and maybe the lack of rushing success, but now adding Dobbins and part of that thing?
I really don't care where we're ranked. I care about how we play, and I think we played well. And we have but at the same time, there's a ton of room to grow, and we all know that. And I think it's the first time in my career, and I'm sure a lot of the other O-linemen can speak to the same, that we really didn't touch anything. There's the whole two deeps back. You got a couple rooks coming in to push us a little bit forward. And that's a pretty cool thing, and I think that says a lot to what our group has accomplished so far. Certainly having RJ and JK and the rest of the running back room is going to really be helpful for us, and I think we have a long way to go in terms of improving that area of our offense, and we're excited for that opportunity because we know if we can accomplish that, we're going to have a lot of success this year.
How much does it change when you start knowing that Bo's the guy, and based on how he played last year, how much confidence does it give a team where you're not looking over your shoulder the whole camp, wondering who the guys are?
I don't think it really affected anybody's confidence a year ago, but I think it was kind of became the expectation midway through, and then, you know, the way that he looked in the spring and the way that he came back and the energy that he came back with, it certainly gives his confidence is going to radiate through the whole team. And Bo's done a great job of that. He's a pro's pro in the way that he approaches the game and the way that he treats his teammates. And yeah, I mean, he's gonna be a great player for us this year.
In terms of his confidence and his huddle presence and his leadership, what is the difference between Bo now versus Bo, say, week 1 of last year?
Well, certainly the experience of playing football games in this league is very, very valuable. You know, now he knows what it feels like. He knows what it looks like. He knows, obviously, that he is very good at it. And I think that just gives him the hunger for more. I think that's what's really impressive about Bo is his competitive nature of just trying to get the most out of himself every single day. And that ability to stack those days is why he improved so vastly and so fast as the season went on last year. And I only expect the same things from him this year.
Do you think that was last year? Was that the best you played? Do you feel like that was your best all-around season?
I don't know. I don't know if that's really for me to judge. But I felt good about it, and I feel good about where I'm at now, and my abilities moving forward. It was a great year, both personally and as a unit, and there's a lot to improve on, and that's what I'm going to try and do. Try to be the best I can.
Now that you're going into your third year with Zach at the front of that room, I mean, what has he meant, I guess, to your group as a position coach, and then sort of like, are you all sort of at the graduate level now? I would imagine in terms of where you're working on.
I think we all like to think that we're at the graduate level, right? We all think that we know more than we do, but Zach's been unbelievable for our group. Zach, I think, retired a year before I got into the NFL. So I think it was Garrett's rookie year. So having a guy that's played that recently, he was in our shoes. He was Sean Payton's O-lineman. Like, he understands what the expectation is for our group, for us as an individual, and his ability to communicate the techniques, his ability to instill belief in his players, is so valuable for us. And I think I speak for the entire room when we wouldn't want to play for anybody else. Zach personally has helped me revive a lot of really big aspects of offensive line play in my career, and I think everybody else would say the same thing. And we're very, very lucky to have Zach Strief as our O-line coach for sure.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So who had bigger praise for Bo Nix? Was it Pat saying that he's going to? What did he say?
Make some noise.
Make some noise. Or was it Mike who said Bo's going to have a great season?
Pat.
Yeah, I think making noise is more that top 5.
Yeah.
Great season's like top 10.
Yeah, but also it's just like their, as Mace would say, parlance.
right.
Like I can't really hear Mike saying like Pat's gonna make some noise this year. He's just the type of guy who would say he's gonna have a great season.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Great to hear from Mike there. And man, someone in the Toyota chat, I don't see who because we have had a lot of comments. It was Behad Moon. He said,
I think that's Bad Moon.
Oh, bad.
Yes.
What? Why Behad? Why
Well,
not
it's
just?
probably like their last name is spelled like BHAD or something
see,
like that.
that's why I have you here.
Yeah.
I need help on pronunciation things. So Bad Moon says, the way he said Dre and Huff were monsters makes me think this defense is number 1 guaranteed. And man, did he put his stamp of approval on Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga. Said they're both monstrous additions. Said they're going to be tremendous for us. Said when they're on the field, you feel their presence. And he played with both of those guys. I see what you're saying, Bad Moon.
I love it. I also find it confusing that Talanoa Hufanga's nickname is Huff. Shouldn't it be Hoof?
It really should be hoof, a horse hoof out there on the field. Just
Or like Tal.
Tal would be a good one. Man, I saw him out there on the field today. He was the only one like kind of walking up and down the field. Hoof was doing that, and he had the big earphones or Air Maxes on or some big AirPods, and his hair was sticking out. And he is not a big guy. He's like Kareem Jackson, where he plays so much bigger than he is, where he just scares the hell out of opposing offensive players anywhere close to him.
Man, I cannot wait for football.
Yep.
Can't wait to see Talanoa Hufunga just like crush a wide receiver. I'm just so ready for these guys to go out there and just make their presence felt.
Speaking of guys making their presence felt, the Broncos are going to have pretty much every single person at the start of training camp, which is huge. I heard from a source, you can make fun of me since I'm sourcing some information now, that only A.T. Perry is going to be put on PUP list. Everyone else is going to be ready to go for the start of training camp. There were some questions about Greenlaw. Remember, we got the report a couple months ago. One person out of California said he was going to miss months of the season. That was immediately shot down. With him not being on the PUP, it shows that should have been shot down, and he's ready to go. Alex Singleton, I've heard, is fully cleared to go. So those two guys, we didn't see them at all on the field in team periods in the offseason. We should see them this week back on the field. Huff is ready to go. Vele, who popped up with an injury at the end of mandatory minicamp, he's ready to go. So great news going into the start of training camp that everyone, except for A.T. Perry, is good.
It's huge, and I think it's even bigger than, for me and maybe you, than the people listening.
Yeah.
Because you and I have caught on to the trend of, you'll get a lot like, oh, he's just going to start on PUP, but he'll be out here next week.
Yep.
And then he's not out there next week.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, he'll be out before the end of the preseason. And then he's not. And it's like, okay, he's just going to start the season on PUP. And then I've seen it enough times to know that if you don't get almost all of training camp, you're just not going to have a good season.
Yep.
Maybe you have an average season. Maybe you have an okay season. It's so hard to have a good season if you're not there for the ramp up period to the season with all of your teammates.
100%. It's so true. Just about how, a 1-day injury turns into a 1-week injury, and then a 1-month injury, and then it's lingering, and then all of a sudden that guy plays 3 games.
When I think there was like a weird like Devontae Booker one at one point where they're like, oh, like he just had like a kind of a late wrist surgery, and he'll be out there, and it's like, nope, just not the same.
Just never is. So
Jake Butt all the time,
man. And then Jake Butt's replacement, Greg Dulcich, that tight end position, man. So Evan Ingram also good to go. It's going to be great to see number 1 out there. And final thing, Ryan, because we're already hitting the ground running, but tomorrow it's going to take off once we're breaking down practice. I want to get to Nik Bonitto held a camp for 200 kids out at Columbine High School this Sunday, and I was able to make it there. Literally went from the airport to the camp to be able to talk to Nik, and I'm happy I did because Nik dropped some news for us out here. Dion, let's dial up the very first clip of Nik talking about how contract talks have begun between him and the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, those type of talks are happening right now, but I kind of just keep that with my agent, just let him handle that. My focus is just, winning and trying to get a championship.
Ryan, contract negotiations have begun between Bonitto and the Broncos, and this is sometimes from teams you get this news all the time. The Broncos with Sean and George, they don't like this news coming out. So this is noteworthy that they actually are working on a contract extension with them.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from that, though, not the contract extension. It's Nik Bonitto's size.
Oh, man, he is huge.
When he got to the Broncos, he looked slim for a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yep.
And that's why he wasn't used in rundowns. This looks like Von Miller to me there.
Yeah, for real. It really does. And actually, you know what, Dion? Let's hear clip 4 right now, because he talks about how this offseason he really spent a lot of time looking back and how disappointed he was in his play last season, how he could get better. And one of the things was against the run. Let's hear how Nik feels he can get better.
Yeah, I mean, just my rushes, just looking back at it, I feel like I kind of let a lot of guys off the hook, just, how I was rushing and stuff like that. So just being able to put constant pressure on tackles and just stuff in the run game, little things that I know I can be better at. And, that's going to continually develop, as I, grow in the league. So.
I mean, some people were worried about, okay, well, he's a really good pass rusher, but is he good in the run? Can he do the power rushes? Like you said, he's added that weight on to be good in that. And to be fair to Nik, though, he did take a big jump in those concerns from 2 years ago to last year. And if he takes another jump, and especially as a pass rusher, he said he feels like he let tackles off the hook a lot of times. If 13.5 sacks, the third most sacks in the NFL, is letting guys off the hook a lot, can't wait to see what a full Nik Bonitto looks like.
Watch out. Better open up that checkbook unless you do it sooner.
Unless you do it now. And Nik continued to talk about where the contract stands with him right now. And he was very honest. And he said, the market right now with edge guys is in my favor. This was 11 minutes after George Karlaftis signed his contract, which was $23.5 million per year for 4 years. Karlaftis was a first-round pick in 2022. Nik Bonitto, a second-round pick in 2022. Karlaftis has 24.5 career sacks. Nik Bonitto has 23 career sacks. However, in the past 2 years, Karlaftis has, I think, 15 sacks. Nik Bonitto has 21.5 sacks in the past 2 years.
Play.
So Nik's ceiling is higher because Karlaftis' career high is 10.5. Nik's is 13.5. And the past 2 years, Nik's been even better. So Nik and his camp saw that deal come in and said, yep, we really like where this is. And then Ryan.
Does Karlaftis strike any fear in you?
Nope.
Me either.
Nope. Good, solid player.
Yeah,
is what I would think of him. Paying him $23.5 million. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There better be more from him, because if the Broncos pay Nik Bonitto about that same amount and they get 13.5 sacks, they're going to be happy with it. So 100%. They don't need Nik to change. They just stay how he is. And Ryan, after talking to multiple sources, I believe Nik's going to get nearly the exact same contract that Pat Surtain got last year. 4 years, $96 million, $24 million a season.
Let's go.
I think if I'm the Broncos, I offer that deal, and I think Nik Bonitto would sign that. And Nik also said the deal could happen tomorrow, or it could happen a couple of months from now, but I can promise you he is not worried about it. A deal is going to get done between those two sides. I'm not exactly as positive and comfortable saying about that for Zach Allen and Courtland Sutton, but I do feel very comfortable that a deal for Nik Bonitto will get done. And I don't mean to say that Zach Allen and Court won't get done, but I'm just extremely confident that Nik Bonitto's deal will get done. If you wait into the season, though, and he starts the season, has 5 sacks in 4 games, throw that one up and write up a $40 million deal per season that TJ Watt just got.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I'm ready for the moment when Nik Bonitto is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate at the end of next year, and you're telling me they got to give him more money because he signed for $24 million.
If he does that, give him 40 if he becomes the Defensive Player of the Year. And we're going to wrap up this show with the super chat coming in from our guy, Cody, who says, my guys, I will see you in Denver for Thursday night football versus the Raiders. Drinks will be enjoyed and the vibes will be lit. It'll be there, or I'll be there for 5 days. Gonna explore the city, and Sights Tailgate is going to be lit.
Can't wait.
LFG.
Can't wait, Cody. Thursday night, tailgates actually go pretty crazy.
As they should.
Yes.
I mean, just obviously, Cody's taking Friday off of work. That is the perfect day to take off of work. Have a 3-day weekend.
And it's kind of like a 4-day weekend because you don't get any work done on Thursday anyway.
Exactly. You leave early because you got to.
Well, he's coming
do
for the game
tailgate.
from
exactly.
out of town, so he's definitely taking Thursday and Friday off.
And he's here to see the Broncos beat his hometown team, the Raiders. I shouldn't say hometown team, but he lives in Vegas. So that's going to be awesome to see you, Cody. And it's going to be awesome to see the Broncos on the practice field tomorrow for the very first time. So we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know from practice starting at 2:05 tomorrow. Make sure you turn on alerts, hit us with a thumbs up, and we are looking forward to training camp. We're ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's bow.
Let's bow.
We all silly like the mayor.